رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Today again we are going to look at the book of Imam Ibn Alqayyam, Patience and Gratitude. The heading of the topic is Patience in Worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see what he mentions here? Patience in worshipping Allah and carrying out His instructions means that you perform the prescribed acts of worship regularly and do so sincerely and with knowledge. Why he says that patience in worshipping Allah and carrying out this responsibility means that you perform the act of worship regularly. You see that regularity is important here. You need to be regular with the ibadah. If you're not regular, means like there is lack of understanding, there is lack of, there's lack of activeness or lack of iman, you could say. So regularity is important in ibadah. That's why he's saying here. And do so sincerely and with knowledge. He says you should have proper knowledge of whatever ibadah you are doing, right? We don't want to do the ibadah, we are not practicing that act because we saw someone doing it. I saw my father or my mother reading the salah like that. No. Or the Qari Sahib of the masjid told us to read the salah like that. No. You should have proper knowledge. Just like Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli. Read the salah as you have seen me reading. We haven't seen him, but we can see a lot of hadith about him praying, right? We should know the proper way of how he used to perform salah. And second thing, we need to perform it with mindfulness, with khushu or khudu. Worship that is not performed regularly is of no value. He says the worship which you do not perform regularly has no value at all. So you see that you might want to pray Fajr and then you forget Zohar and Asr, and then when you go to bed you are like, oh, okay, let's read Isha before sleeping. No, you have to be regular with the worship. You have to be regular, right? Even if you want to read an ayah or two of the Quran every day, be regular, right? Bring yourself back to it, even if you don't want to read it. Because you did this act yesterday, so now do it again. Do it again, don't forget it. Yeah. Also, when it comes to Salah, you cannot say that, oh, I can pray about 3 Salah a day. I can pray about 2 Salah a day because I'm busy, so I can't be regular. No. You need to make sure that you be regular with each and every Salah. Be mindful. You set an alarm or whatever. Bring yourself back to Musalla even if you don't want to pray. Then he says, even if worship is performed regularly, there are 2 dangers. Firstly, we risk losing our sincerity if the motive for performing prayers is not to please Allah and draw closer to Him. So to protect our worship, we must make sure that we are sincere. So 2 key dangers are mentioned here: loss of sincerity and deviation from the Sunnah. If you're not reading it regularly, there is a risk that you lose your sincerity. Also, if your intentions are not clear, if you are not mindfully performing it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then there is a danger that you lose your sincerity. So, first, you should know and you should be mindful that you are performing this act only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Second, you should know how it's performed and who told us how to perform ibadah. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Go through the hadith and make sure that they are authentic hadiths, whatever you are practicing, right? So you see that constant self check is needed. Constantly keep checking yourself. Am I performing this ibadah for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or for the people? If riya is added somewhere, you are reading for people, not for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then there is a chance that you lose your intention, you lose your regularity, you lose your purpose, and then you won't be able to perform it regularly, right? So, self reflection and constant self check is needed. Self reflection, yani, whenever you come back to musalla, you do it mindfully. Why am I performing it? What's my purpose? And will Allah be pleased with my salah? Am I performing in such a way that He'll like it, He'll accept it? Today, what is our failure? Our failure is that we perform the salah without mindfulness. We read it because it has become our habit. Because we have seen people reading from our childhood. You see that people suffer a lot. They don't want to use their mind why they are reading the salah like that. They are reading the salah from their childhood in the wrong way and they don't want to ponder over it. That's not how it should be. Ibadah is there to make you regular and to make you make it beautifully and purposefully and sincerely. This is the purpose. Constant self check is needed. Remind yourself each time, I'm coming back to Musalla. This is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I want to please Him. Before going from this dunya, I want to add this into my record so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with me on the day of judgment. This should be our purpose. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to understand. Ameen. Thumma ameen. Assalamu alaikum.